Alison was the first person I met at Notre Dame. I was 14 and in the middle of planning an elaborate escape attempt in the middle of a getting-to-know-you sort of game with other 14-year-olds I neither knew nor wanted to know, when some older students flooded into the room and started assigning relations. Suddenly we all had big brothers and big sisters, who also happened to be complete strangers. My stranger, my sudden sister, was Alison.
I met Allie in my sophomore year of high school. On the first day of that semester, I was especially determined to make a good impression with my journalism classmates, as I was the only boy in the class. Unfortunately, my voice cracked horribly while I was introducing myself, thus ruining any chance of establishing any sort of suitable image. Or so I thought. Amidst the sea of giggling females, I guess something must have resonated with Alison. I feel like my social interactions are littered with embarrassing moments like these, but Alison seemed to really appreciate my awkwardness. Despite my fears of never making friends in that class, Allie seemed focused on forming a friendship with me, and after I took notice of this, I was happy to reciprocate that effort.
She was unlike the other students, and I recognized this straight away. She was entirely confident in her role as my supposed sibling, and this confidence seemed to carry over into everything she did. When she spoke, it was with confidence. When she walked, when she smiled, when she didn't lie and tell me high school would be the best years of my life, these things were all done in a wonderfully self-assured way, which for some kid who was unsure of absolutely everything at that point in her life was the most fascinating thing possible.
When Alison introduced herself, I was taken immediately. She was so wonderfully sharp and quick, confident and charming, incredibly funny. She was friendly and affable. Everyone flocked to her, and it was easy to see why. I know that I wanted to be her friend from the moment we met. I mean, it's kind of hard not to fall in love with Allie. As we got to know each other better, we would sometimes walk home together from school. It caught me off guard the first time she asked me if I'd walk her home because I just thought she was way out of my league in every sense possible. I obviously didn't think too highly of myself and didn't understand why she did. But I was too happy to ponder that thought for all that long. My thoughts drifted back to this new friend I had made and how grateful I was for her company on a walk after school.
Where will I admit it if I don't admit it here? I wanted to be her. Not in the literal sense, but in a way that meant I would be happy and wise and secure in my own self. It was these things that made her beautiful, though it didn't hurt that she was beautiful to begin with.
She's beautiful. Allie is fucking gorgeous.
I found myself wishing she really were my older sister, and I saw similarities in us that I'd hoped were not of my imagining, because that would mean that I was just a little bit awesome too. This idea has still not sunk in, but hopefully it will someday. In many ways I'm very similar to my 14-year-old self. It's still true that I look up to Alison, still true that I think she is entirely amazing and strong. And I sound sappy as hell, but I don't care.
She's one of the toughest people I know. Such a badass. She taught me to use my words with conviction and to really think about what I said. Everything she said was straight from her heart, and it was fired with such fierce concentration that I could feel it pierce me. She never took shit from anybody. She taught me to stand up against my school's oppressive administration and do it with class. God damn it, I love her.
She's proof that I can live on my own terms, define happiness and normalcy the way I want. I think that maybe the similarity that I saw between us was that we both shared being different. And she did different well. I discovered that I didn't want to fit in with these other 14-year-olds. I wanted to remain the odd one out and wear it well, like she did, like she still does. She's one of the most incredible people I know, and I admire her more than I can say. She was the first of the real friends that I made as a teenager, and therefore the first indicator of decent humanity. Not just decent, but good and kind and just. What I'm saying is, she's a great girl.
There was one time Alison and I had to stay late at school because we had a deadline, and Felipe was kind enough to give us both rides home. I remember climbing into the back seat of Felipe's car and closing the door behind me. I remember the car zooming off and Alison turning up Sexy and 17 by the Stray Cats. I remember her feet resting out of the window while we were driving, her dance moves in the front seat. I remember sitting in the back seat and putting on my seatbelt, not because I was at all concerned with Felipe's driving ability, but because I wanted to strap myself down and imprison myself in that moment forever. I remember wanting Alison and Felipe to adopt me so I could go home with them. I can't thank Allie enough for everything that she's done for me. Even within the walls of high school, where I never felt I fully fit in, when I was with Allie, I felt like I belonged for a moment. Every birthday of mine since I met her has been a joy because of a mix that she made me or a letter that I received in the mail. I still have all the postcards she sent me. I can't really quantify Allie's meaningfulness in words, pictures, or sounds, but this is my best attempt thus far, so I hope she likes it.
Happy birthday, Allie. We love you.